be honest, I don't even know where to start this. We should be focusing on the first half, obviously, because that's when Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson played. But I have to start at the end there. What in the world was that final play? What? Genuinely what happened? I mean, the refs the whole game were on something. And we can go to team stats, right? 12 to 11 penalties accepted. What in the... And then the final play, I've been waiting like 10 minutes for someone to post the full clip. Of course, they're just posting the edited clip or an edited clip to make it seem like we look stupid. But from what I saw on that final play, that was a clear touchdown. You can tell it's been a while. Jason Bean and Jelani Woods connection. What was that, for like 20 yards to the end zone? I mean, that was a touchdown. That looked like a touchdown. He caught it. 2 feet on the turf. Jumps up. Ball isn't bobbling at all. He drags another feet down and crosses the goal line. But they're saying he didn't get his feet down. Now, again, with the little editing, people are chopping it up and just showing the final part where he landed on the ground and the ball kind of bounced. But, one, that doesn't make any sense because he already had possession of the ball. He had 2 steps in a football move, or 3 steps, basically, even though they said he didn't have both of his feet down. And that wouldn't matter anyway, because he crossed the pylon. When you cross the pylon, like when you dive, and there's a touchdown. Especially if it's a runner at that point, which he should have been. But they're not even saying, like, oh, the pass is incomplete. He got the feet in bounds, however he dropped it. No, they just said he didn't get his feet in bounds. And that's ridiculous because there was no indication by all of the video camera angles that they showed that was an incomplete pass. Dude got 3, maybe even 4 steps in bounds before going out of bounds, and he crossed the goal line with the ball in his hands. I mean, that's a joke. That's an absolute joke, and it's the preseason, too. We're giving out 15 penalties in the preseason and blatantly stealing a win from another team in the preseason. I mean, that's a joke. What are we doing here? And of course, I'm not that mad because it is the preseason. It doesn't mean anything, really. Jason Bean was in at QB, which, to be honest, Jason Bean did look pretty good. But Jason Bean was in at QB. He might make the practice squad because we got 3 good QBs, and Jones, Richardson, and Leonard. But Jason Bean was in, and he's throwing to Jelani Woods. I mean, it obviously doesn't matter. But let's say this is Anthony Richardson and, I don't know, Josh Downs. No, Tyler Warren, because it's tight end. If that happens in the regular season, let's say week 17, week 16, I would be pissed. Because that's a joke. No sort of, like, review. No sort of, like, oh, this is what happened. They're just like, oh, incomplete pass. Packers win. Goodbye. Like they didn't even want to be there. They didn't show anything. They didn't do anything. They didn't come on the mic to explain it. They just said, yep, pass incomplete. Game over. Packers win. Like, that's a joke. That is a joke, and it makes no sense. But we're not here to talk. Although we did for about, 5 minutes? I don't know. What I'm really here to talk about is the first half. And we looked pretty good in the first half. We got, obviously, the 13 points. They got a late field goal in the second. But in that second quarter, when Anthony Richardson was in, he led us to 10 points. Daniel Jones did lead us to 3, but Daniel Jones' first drive was not good. He had a couple of good throws, and if we do look at his stats, he went 7 for 11, 101 yards. But that's because he had like 3 big throws, and then the rest were just not that good. He made a stupid fumble. He missed on what would have been a touchdown to Tyler Warren on a 3rd and 13 down the sideline. Just completely overthrew him. So Daniel Jones' first drive, not good. Daniel Jones' second drive definitely looked better. However, he still did not get into the end zone. We had to kick there. Anthony Richardson comes in. Sure, on the stats it does show 6 for 11. But that's also because they call it back like a 40-yard pass down the field. Perfect dot cross body. I forgot to who it was, but it was a perfect dot cross body. Pressure all up in his face, nearing to get sacked. And they call it back for offsides. Now, obviously, that one I'm not mad about because I believe that was Adonai Mitchell. That was his fault. I'm not mad about that. However, you can't be doing that, obviously. And that wiped off 40 yards, and that probably would have made Anthony Richardson have the most passing yards on the day. But overall, Richardson looked good, except for a few mistakes. Nothing like last week where he got absolutely full box deck by a Ravens defender and got his pinky torn. It didn't get torn. It just got like deformed, misplaced. But Richardson looked good. And of course, third quarter, Riley Leonard comes in. He plays until the last 2 minutes to where they put Bean in. Again, I just finished the game with Riley Leonard. Finished the game with him. Bean, while he looks pretty good, I don't know why we're putting him in a 2-minute warning drill when Riley could use that a lot. Riley, he looked alright. Bean looked pretty good. He should have had the game-winning touchdown, but, the refs. For rushing, Giddens led on the day. He had 6 carries, 28 yards, 4.7 average. However, Bentley ran 7 for 27. I'm not sure if he even makes the roster. Goodson, he went 2 for 10 and a touchdown, but he left with an injury. Like everyone on this dang team, they're all made of glass. Like, you would watch a basic not a 4th and 2, but a 1st and 10 play, run for 2 yards, and all of a sudden, the third of our O-line is just dead. Like, we have the worst personal trainers in the league at that point. Leonard, Richardson, they ran once. Well, Leonard ran twice, 2 for 10. Richardson ran 1 for 9. Taylor also came in. He ran one time. I thought he was going to play a quarter. Dude ran once and didn't. Well, he got 9, but he ran one time and didn't come back. And Jones, well, he ran one time. He didn't get any yards, though. For receiving, sorry about that. Especially, like, with Bean. Owen and Bean were diamond. They were hitting everything right. Bean was throwing perfect passes to Owen. He was getting us down the field really fast. What led us to that Jelani Woods incident. So, Owen, you might make the practice team. Pittman, he got 2 for 31. Gold caught 3 for 30. Ogletree got 2 for 28. Mo Alley caught 2 for 25. Tyler Warren, he should have had 75 in a touchdown, but Daniel Jones, he's not too good, and he only got 1 for 25. But it's 25 yards, so I'm not complaining too much. Woods caught 2 for 22. Again, should have had a touchdown and 30 more yards, but we're not going to talk about that much. Doolin, 1 for 18. Bentley, 2 for 13. Mallory, 1 for 11. Edjo, 1 for 9. Giddens, 1 for 9. Mitchell, 1 for 8. And Treadville, he was targeted, but he did not catch a pass. A defense, our third-team defense is absolutely horrible. They can't stop a fly. Probably why we were getting cooked last year, because our third team was playing. Or some of the players were, because everyone got injured. Johnson led with tackles and assists, 3 for 7. Lamon's got a sack. for 1 sack. I thought there was more. There was also a fumble recovery by someone. By mistake, I don't know who got it, but there was someone who fumbled on the Packers, and we got it. And for kick returns, Owen, 3 for 86. Yeah, he's definitely making at least the practice squad. And Giddens had 1 for 27. For punt returns, Gould had 1 for -3 yards, which is not good. And Spencer Schrader, 4 for 4 with a long of 56. We have not seen this type of performance since my boy Matt Gay actually wanted to, kick properly. Against, the Ravens when he actually made long kicks. So, Schrader, really good day. He was 4 for 4. Most of our points, 13 of our 19. And his long was 56. And Sanchez, obviously, one of the best punters in the league. 3 times, 157 yards. And he was inside the 21 time. Quick glance over to the Packers, although we don't really care about them much. Elgersma led with 7 passes on 11 attempts for 109 yards. I don't know what that is, really. Malik Willis was not too accurate, but when he was dotting, 6 for 14, 83 yards. And Clifford had the game-winning touchdown, technically, but he only threw 1 for 4. And Abani Kanda led rushing, 12 for 43 in the touchdown. Johnson and Clifford also had touchdowns. Clifford, technically the game winner. Johnson, 3 for 41, led in receiving. And for their defense, 5 tackles, 4 assists is Isaiah Simmons, the leader. Kick returns, Abani Kanda. I think it's Abani Kanda, not Abani Kanda. 5 returns for 120 yards. Valentine had 1 for 22. Hardman, Chiefs legend, 1 for 10. And McNamee, he went 1 for 2 and missed an extra point for a not good kicking day, but at the same time, his long was 43. And Whelan punted 3 times for 148 yards, and he was inside the 23 total times. Over to the team stats. We led on yards. Led on total and passing yards. They did lead on rushing yards. We did not rush a lot, especially when Taylor was in the game. Daniel Jones was hogging everything. Kind of looked like last year when the Packers came to town, or we went to their town. I forgot if it was a home or away game. And they rushed for 300 yards against us. Of course, they own the running game on us. Our running defense is not that good. And that kind of messed everything up again. But good passing day, and we did lead yards by 6. We also led yards per play, 5.8 to 5.1. However, they had more first downs, a better third down efficiency. We went 3 for 11. They were 4 for 4 on 4th down. You got to stop 4th downs if you want to win in this league. And you did not get your 4th down, even though you should have. And they also had more plays, 70-62. Both teams allowed 1 sacks, and they punted 3 times. Penalties were absolutely egregious. I mentioned that earlier. And we technically did win the turnover battle. 1 fumble from them. They also threw an interception to us, but it got called back to another penalty, of course. And they did lead in time of possession. So, really disappointing loss. Luckily, it's just the preseason. Refs, get it together. Because if I see something like that again in the regular season, there's going to be some uncomfortable conversations. Because that is an absolute joke. At least explain it. Because the play did not make sense. And if I can find it, I will look for it. If not, have a good day. And I'll see you next week. We play the Bengals. So, if we don't go to that, Woods clip. See ya. Peace. But I went to the depths of Reddit to go find this. Here's the pass, right? Jason Bean catches it right here, 2 feet down, and give you another look. Okay. Catches it. 2 feet down. He gets hit. Ball stays in his hand. Okay. Ball caught. Foot down. Second foot down. Gets hit. Got his foot down again. And he scrapes the turf. Dives, crosses a pylon. That's a touchdown. Now, there's another thing to be looked at here, obviously. You can see the football does move a tiny bit when he hits the ground. However, it doesn't really from this angle. However, that wouldn't matter because he crossed the pylon. You can easily see that. He crossed it. They were originally reviewing it to see if it was a touchdown, and then they just took away the catch for no reason. I mean, here's this from this angle. Catch. Foot down. Second foot down. Gets hit. Ball doesn't move. He scraped his foot again on the turf. You can see the turf move right here. Crosses the pylon. I mean, I don't know what they were looking at. Other than maybe the ball moving here. Maybe the ball moving here. At that point, he already crossed the pylon. Was a runner with 3 feet down. That should have been a touchdown. And again, they did not say he did not complete the pass. They said he didn't get his foot in bounds to complete the pass, which he clearly did. I mean, it's just an absolute joke. It's a disappointment. And I don't know what the refs are on. And if they do that in the regular season, there is going to need to be some uncomfortable conversations. That's all I'm saying. But this is true end of the video now. So I'll see you guys later, and peace.